What's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yeah, what's good, y'all?
Amir and Johnny. You guys remember when we did this podcast?
It's been a hot second.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I think I got like early stage dementia. Like it's not rocking in me. Like if you told me the exact date, it's not clicking.
Nah, man.
But I remember the fun moments.
Yeah, there you go. That's what matters the most. And for those of you that don't know us personally, the reason why we've been MIA for so long is just some big life events that happened for all three of us. I got sent overseas with the military for a little over a year, or for right around a year. Amir, he was leveling up in his job and moving out the house. Johnny was graduating college and getting a job in his field. So we were all, in different spots of our life, but now we've all kind of are coasting along in adulthood and we're able to bring y'all some good nostalgic content again.
Mm-hmm. Enough adulting. Let's get nostalgic.
All right, so before we dive into our topic of the day, though, I have to ask you guys, which is a better place of entertainment, Dave & Buster's or Topgolf?
I say right now, Topgolf.
Yeah, if right now it's gonna be Topgolf. If you told me like back when I was 12, I'd be like Dave & Buster's all the way because that's when they had the good games. Before it became like all mobiles, like
Johnny,
all mobile games.
When did we go to Dave & Buster's recently? How long ago?
Recently?
It was a couple months.
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Couple months. I mean, it's relevant to what we're talking about now, but all the games there are like iPod stuff.
Yeah, straight up mobile stuff. You want to play Subway Surfers in arcade? No, I can play that shit on my phone, bro.
Yeah, because them shooters was ass.
Yeah, where the fuck is House of the Dead? Like, bro, they got like Tomb Raider, but that shit will rip you off.
Wait, the Dave & Buster's you guys went to didn't have House of the Dead?
Bro,
No.
if you go to most Dave & Buster's, they like ripped out the old I mean, think of Funplex, like how it was versus how it is now. They like switched up the format to like little kid games and all that stuff. Like before, I think like now the barcade is where you got to go if you're an adult. But I mean, if you're like anything that's not an adult, them arcades trash. I'm sorry, because I don't think that Burlington one's up anymore.
No, Burlington Mall died. That shit died like 6 years ago.
That's so tragic.
It is tragic.
Johnny, I'm kind of surprised that you chose Topgolf.
Like I said, you said Barcade versus Topgolf. Barcade, hell yeah,
okay,
all the way. But like you say, it's like all the stuff is like mobile games. It's mobile games or like light gambling machines. It's like mini Vegas up in there, bro. Like it's all about gambling. Like them coin games, the quarter pushes. Yeah. Or you gotta like put the quarter in and gotta have that shit push. It's mostly all them fucking games now. Like you can't really get much other than that. I mean, there's a couple games that you could play, but they're kind of cheats.
Hey, you gotta start the addiction early, gambling.
Exactly. See,
when we getting the DraftKings sponsor.
When are we getting that sponsor?
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm trying to be
probably
the
day that you stop trying to fight our fans.
I mean, if you agree with Johnny's takes, then we won't have a problem. But
remember, that was back in 2000.
Facts. This is a grown man now. A grown man.
This is grown man season. We've leveled up.
This is adult Johnny. He's evolved.
Yeah, I'm balling now. Not really, but I'm balling. I'm going to be balling.
One day.
Man kind of went Super Saiyan. He grew hair and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that, Johnny. I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah, the audience can't see it, but I used to be like Lance Reddick, rest in peace. Like I used to have that like good old bald head, fair.
You look like the light skinned Nick Cage without hair. I ain't gonna lie. But...
Man, if only I was that strong, bro. But now it bloomed. It's like I got a flower on my head. I ain't got that bird's nest like ugly ass haircut, but it's good curly. Yeah. Ladies,
early weekend.
Yeah, ladies, if you want to know me, find me down in Arizona.
Why
bro,
Arizona?
What?
They don't even know where I am.
Oh, okay.
How are you gonna record?
All right. We'll talk about these iOS games now, all right? So like Amir and Johnny said, a lot of these games that were popular in the early days of iOS are now common like arcade games, especially like in Dave & Buster's. Like I remember seeing like Cut the Rope is one of them.
Yep.
And then I think like Fruit Ninja is another one. Mm-hmm. Those are a couple like really popular earlier days of the iOS that are still relevant today, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, you even got like Doodle Jump, and that's old. That's like old. Like one of the first like iOS games too. Not like I won't say one of the first, but like
if I remember correctly, Doodle Jump is that one where you grab your iPhone, right, and you like tilt it side to side, so that way the little bounce doodle monster thingy that
I,
goes up.
I would always go into the settings and put it that way. I would have to move with my finger because that whole thing where you tilt on the iPod, iPhone, whatever you want to call it, I wasn't with it. I ain't gonna lie.
Nobody liked John.
Plus, also flip side, when we were talking about like this idea, I instantly thought like the different experiences because like there's paid versus unpaid, and depending on how you grew up, I know I couldn't buy none of the games that like actually cost guap. Like I had to get like an iTunes card after I saved some guap after I don't know like 5 years.
I was about to say, so it's crazy because a lot of y'all are going to see that a lot of the apps we're going to be talking about were the top free ones and the top free games in the App Store.
But some also started free and then went to
and then
paid.
they went to paid, yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? I can't stand this about mobile games nowadays, and that's probably why I don't play too many, but the ads or the paywalls for everything, the paywalls are insane. They'll be like, yeah, you can be all-star in this game for $200.
Well, I mean, do you have Doodle Jump Lite or do you have Doodle Jump?
Yeah, you gotta pay yourself $5 for you get
If you got the Lite, I know what you rocking. You got the free Spotify, you got the free Pandora. We know.
You on the college budget?
The college budget, yeah. I mean, use that college discount.
Yo, that's facts right there. Yo, when I was in college, I one time made toast with iron. I grabbed my iron. Yeah. I grabbed
Is that sanitary?
Not at all. But when you put on the silk setting, that came out perfectly, bro.
I had a man cook some bacon like that.
You say you cooked some bacon like that?
Yeah.
How'd it turn out?
I mean,
that's the same bacon they use at McDonald's.
The iron was completely messed up, but I mean...
Yeah, about to say, you get food poisoning? You good? You good?
The joint was crispy.
It was crispy?
I tried it.
Oh, so it's that Wendy's bacon.
Okay.
That's how they actually do it. That's their secret sauce.
Nah, it's like that bacon, like you can like microwave for like a minute, you know what I mean? It was like that quality.
Oh, pause. I've never had such a thing.
Okay, well, I mean, go to McDonald's, you'll like have about the equivalent, but...
I refuse. I'll never.
So, question: where did y'all get your first iPod? Did y'all get an iPod or iPhone?
So, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it was iPod. Well, here's the thing: the difference is so like, I shouldn't say it's so minuscule, but like at the same time, it is. It's just
one
the difference
can make phone
of like
calls and one could just.
That's all the difference really was, you know. And at that point in time, it was more like entertainment is why you had it, right? You didn't really had it because you were also looking to do both. You were just looking like you had one to entertain yourself because that's what an iPod was, right? It was music and entertainment, right? So like when you had the iPod, like all of us, like the earlier stages of the iPhone or the iPod, it didn't matter because you just had it for entertainment. That's all the purpose was of it, you know. So you didn't really care if it had mobile data or any of that on there, you know. Nowadays, obviously, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, we're rocking an iPod now.
That's the thing, though. Like before, it was such a distinct split, and so when the iPhone first came out, everybody was like, "Well, why the hell would I want this? I can make phone calls if I just download a different app on my iPod," which I would do.
Wait, you could do that?
Heck yeah, bro.
When?
Okay, so like maybe because you're the younger brother and you got my old iPod and all that.
No, I got my own. The only thing I used that shit for was like games and shit.
But that's what I'm saying, like the hand-me-down. But before it was like, oh well, this is like my iPod Nano and all that. And so like it was all music oriented. And then when it introduced the games and all that and the touch screen interface and like the games was better than a lot of the booty like flash games you could find on the computer and everything like that. It technically revolutionized gaming in general, but I don't think the iPhone became more distinct until they upgraded like the camera and like you could do way more and like the internet accessibility was like way better compared to like the iPod because them things would brick after a while. I mean, indestructible if you got the case, but I know a lot of people just flung them hoes. Lots of dead iPods.
Bro, I still have my first iPod.
Jesus.
Yeah, bro, from 2008. I remember you got yours first, and I was jealous as fuck because I was like, yo, you get to watch YouTube? You get to play games?
I get to look at porn.
You get to look at porn, bro? This fucking... That was before I even knew porn, but until I got the iPod. But then I remember on my birthday... Bro, literally, I was angry as fuck because I lost like a light gun game, like the laser tag shit. I lost the laser tag and I was angry as fuck at my friends. I was like, man, I'm gonna play this stacker game. This is like rigged fucking game. If y'all don't know stacker, it's pretty much like you got stack blocks, but that's just rigged. Don't even fucking try because if you get to the major prize, it fucking rigs you. But swear to God, first attempt, first try, I got to the major prize and I was like, yo, what prize do I got? I saw a fucking iPod. I'm like, yo, I get mine for free. Let's go. And bro, ever since if that moment didn't happen, John wouldn't be the same today.
You see why gambling early starts out so well?
Exactly.
You said it was rigged and then said, I still did it anyway and won an iPod.
It's rigged until I win.
You're making me want to play Stacker because what if I win an iPhone at this point?
You're not going to win an iPhone.
You want an iPod? We'll see.
Yeah, but that was 2008. That shit, and back in Hawaii, so that shit was probably like, it was probably like leaning like towards the win. So, it was like more chances to win. But nowadays, they don't want to fucking give you anything.
You're right.
They don't give you a free
The
PS4.
machine needed a certain amount of Samoan kicks to it before it actually worked. I got you.
Now you think it with your head.
You know what's crazy is that Johnny probably got like one of those like Nickelodeon pear pads. Like it wasn't actually Apple. And to this day, he just hasn't noticed.
Disgusting.
No, bro, but I love that fucking iPod, bro. Like, ever since I got that, listened to Michael Jackson, went on YouTube and, went that whole rabbit hole, and then it was good. And the iOS game was fire, bro.
So, side note, what was the first music video you guys ever watched or downloaded? Because for me, like, I vividly remember it was Thriller by Michael Jackson, and that kind of ruined music videos for me because, like, that was a full-fledged production, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a high-quality music video in terms of, like, the choreography, there was acting in it, it surpassed any music videos. And then I see, like, other music videos like after that, and I'm like, this isn't a music video. I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, where's the acting? Where's the zombies?
Dog,
where's the dancing?
I mean, that's a whole difference. Music videos used to be fire.
Yeah.
I think my first one was Eminem Stan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I love the hook, bro. The
Yeah.
hook was just, I don't know. I still sing that to this day, but
That's
good.
what I remember. Like, the only way there was like the music video, but it was all like censored and shit. So you're just getting like, you remember that one part where he's in the car? He's like, "See, Slim, it's like, like,
See, I just,
see, I ain't like you because that short, dude." This shit was but I remember the first one I ever looked at was fucking Marilyn Manson, Beautiful People, because of the fucking images and
Oh
visuals.
my goodness.
That
Okay.
music video scared the shit out of me, bro. Especially as a kid, I was like, dude, what am I looking at? This is some demon shit. But
he did that on purpose too. Marilyn Manson is kind of a genius because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody, but I'm pretty sure he has like some psych background or he's interested in like how people react to certain things and like the elongated limbs and like people moving at fast paces, like their head turning too quick or like disfigurement and all that. It's all very like eye-catching, and he knew what he was doing. Even like old interviews, he'd dress up crazy, and like that was back when. So
Yeah,
He knew how to push boundaries.
that's facts. That's crazy. Yo, that's like, it's cool to see like how different like your first music videos were from
I know,
like
right?
mine.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's just like, it's really interesting, especially you, Johnny.
Johnny's
You got
leaving out the Minecraft music arc, but
That'll be for another time.
His first ever music video was the Duck song on YouTube. Got any grapes? So one of the first games that I remember playing on the iPod, or like the earliest iOS games I remember, is Tap Tap Revenge.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that honestly, man, that must have set records for the time that it came out. Millions of downloads, millions, because like everybody that did have an iPod, they had that game. That was like one of the number one games at that point in time. Here's the thing, I'm not really good at like rhythm games or like those kind of like beat games like that.
I suck at Guitar Hero, dog.
Yeah, I'm not that great at it, but like it's so cool seeing people that are so clean at it because their fingers be going like insane, and you're just like, are you even actually thinking or are you just reacting? It's insane. Like, it's actually a talent.
Yeah, especially when people play like DDR and shit. People playing that shit on like extreme mode. I'm like, dude, nah, I don't even know how y'all do that. Like, that's like advanced. That's you might as well be a dancer.
I tried doing a DDR, but like it was like in Japanese at this one arcade place that I went to. So like just like no English on the arcade cabinet at all. And I was just like, oh yeah, I'll pick this. And then it was like S mode, which is apparently the hardest mode. And I was like, oh, okay, got it. And those movements, when I tell you, terrified. I literally just stood there. I was holding the bar. I was like, huh. Oh boy! Literally was said one. No. Miss.
That's failure.
Yeah. I was like, what did it? You suck. Suck. Said, oh, okay, my bad. It didn't even give me tickets. It was like, yo, just get out of here.
Usually it's like, great. It's like, no.
Yeah, the narrator was actually crying in his bed.
It didn't even pop up, try again.
It said, honestly, keep your credits. Don't come back to this machine.
Dog, but that Tap Revenge, I think it was Tiny Tempa Pass Out. That was one of the biggest ones. Justin Bieber's Baby.
Yeah.
That was, and Honestly, a lot of people learned if their touchscreen was fucked from that game because if you wasn't clicking and damn well you getting on point. And at that point, I mean, unless if you grew up like that, I mean, bless y'all heart. But I didn't have a spare iPod. You know what I mean? If that thing was broke, I just dealt with it. So my jetpack joyride was fucked. Like I was slamming my fat thumb trying to get up.
You remember how that theme song for Tap Tap Revenge went?
Nah, hit us with it.
Tap, 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 revenge. Bro, look it up, dead ass. It go like tap, 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 revenge. And that shit will go, oh, wow.
Johnny knows all the ads and like...
Johnny wouldn't even actually play the game. He just let it run.
Are you sure you're in the right field? Like, I feel like you should really be in marketing because, like, how many times has he, like, just popped out, like, a verse and it's like, what's it sound like, Johnny?
This is why we don't do sound bites on the show. We just have Johnny do them.
Yeah. No context, nothing at all. Just,
But not for real. Like, that game was awesome, too, because he's like, especially if you can't pay for the music. It's like, oh, it's on Tap Tap Revenge. Let me just put on the song, put it in my pocket, get a bunch of misses. But hey, I'm listening to fucking like LMFAO, like get crazy.
I've never heard someone say that before in my life. Oh my God, that is next level struggle.
That's when you were so broke, bro. You gotta like resort to other means.
See, this is the problem nowadays. People know you could just illegally download music, right?
100%. 100%.
They don't know nothing about it, so it's like, damn, I must have to use the app Tap Tap Revenge. People been burning CDs for years.
I'm mad that people would be like, "Hey, DJ Johnny, change the song." He's like, "All right, tap tap. All right, hard mode. It's in the hard mode section." He'd be like, "Hold up, ads. All right, now we can listen." Yeah, this man. Did y'all actually ever play? What is the one game called? It was Geometry Dash. That's what it was called. Yeah. You know that one where it's like a block that like just keeps going forward
and you tap it to like make a jump.
Yeah. That had some like really good background music for no reason at all. Like that was really catchy music too.
Play that shit on the bus, put your headphones in, and zone out.
Yeah.
But also be stressing out because that game's hard as shit.
Is that game a front runner for a lot of current games now? Because that's very replicated where it's like you got like crazy soundtrack and like the whole game is just like tapping or like very simple things, say, like, but it's still very hard. Yeah,
that and Tap Tap were probably like pioneers for that. I would say for sure. How's about Trivia Crack? Did you guys hop on that wave when that came out?
Trivia Crack, nah.
No, you weren't on Trivia Crack at all.
I don't even remember Trivia Crack. When did that come out?
Dog, you needed friends for that.
That was what was that? Like I think like 2012, 13, 14,
See,
right around that time.
I was a kid too, so ain't trivia thing. I'll be like trash ass. Like, my knowledge base at that time was
That's fair. That's fair. No, that thing became so popular. Like even Netflix, they have like a little mini like game show type of thing. Like it's all animated or whatnot. So it's like what do you call that? I guess like it gets you involved in the game. I don't even know what
it's like an OG Jackbox game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, where it's just fast paced. What's your what's your knowledge? Or sometimes we'll throw in like the silly stuff, like the old IQ test that used to be popular on the internet and all that.
Yeah, exactly. It was an interactive game, basically. But yeah, that was I remember that being really huge. Everybody was playing that for a hot second. That and what was it called? Scrabble? Or yeah, I think that's Words with Friends. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Words with Friends still popping. Jeez.
You still play it?
I don't play that, but I know plenty of people that still do.
Oh, really? I don't really know anybody that still plays Words with Friends.
I mean, if you got like that job, like our old camp job and all that stuff, where you just got a couple hours to kill every once in a while, that's
fair. You see, that's like big brain, like using like your pastime or whatnot. Like for me, like if I have free time, I'm using it like numbing my brain. That's like actually growing your IQ. I can't do that.
See, back in the day, I would have all the, like Clash of Clans, how like you can only do a certain amount of things within a certain period of time. I used to be obsessed with like fictional stuff. So like they had like Zombie O, Vampire O, and like all these different things, and they were all interconnected. So you could attack a zombie player, you can attack the vampire player. I used to just be on those, and then if I ran out of like energy, I just download a different account.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was
as you should.
I mean, I don't know what I got out of that, but or anything to show out of that, but
You cured your boredom at the time.
just know I got hella zombie meat that day. Pause.
Oh, yeah, pause.
I'm so proud of you. No, did you guys ever do that trick where to get rid of ads, you would put it in like airplane mode, or like you would turn off Wi-Fi with the games and like it wouldn't run any ads? Like you could play your iOS game without like any ads in it?
Bro, I just got so much better at clicking the little small X in the top right corner.
Yo, can we talk about that? How it be putting it in like the most impossible like section in the screen, being like, yeah, no, you actually need to click this ad in order to get back to your game.
Yeah, they want to get your money.
It's so you accidentally click it. I wonder if it's like based on the clicks or based on the downloads.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't even like they don't even do an X. They'll do like a whole different shape and they'll throw it like after like 15 seconds. And I'm just like, what are you actually doing right now? It'll be like the fast forward button in order to like skip like the ad or whatnot.
Well, I mean, things got way worse because like back in the day, it was just, oh, okay, something popped up, you hit X and it's like, okay, fine. Now you like need to be connected to the internet to play like a lot of these iOS mobile games. And I mean, it's not like click X, it goes away. It's like an unskippable ad. It's like YouTube where it double adds you before a video and you can't do anything about it.
So back in the day, it didn't dawn on me that without a wireless connection, you don't get ads. So every time I would bring my iPod outside, I see no ads. I was like, yo, how did I do that? And I like thought it was a cheat code, like a life hack or some shit, bro.
Yeah, Johnny would go outside and be like, there are beings above us.
Dog, the thing is, like, I remember with these games, because there was a price tag with it, one of the biggest things when I was back in Hawaii was like jailbreaking the iPod.
Yeah,
jailbreaking is huge.
Bro, do you know how much money we made, like, selling that?
No, how much?
Like, I mean, $25 to jailbreak your iPod, and it's just like, oh, mind you, once we jailbreak it, we are not liable. Like, you can't update past this point.
I was saying, like, you can't
you're
go
stuck
back, right?
with the version you got.
Yeah.
So all the games that come out after this that you can't play because you didn't update to the next version, you're just shit out of luck. But I mean, you could literally have anything else in the App Store that's current. Looking back, shit idea, because I didn't realize how many updates they'd be coming out with from then till now. But
well, I don't think anybody would have ever thought about that at that point in time. Like even like dumb stuff like with your consoles, bro. Like I still prefer older consoles because I'm not waiting. Like I'm not putting in a game and being like, oh, is there an update? Am I gonna have to wait 10 more minutes until I play it? Like honestly, it's crazy. Like I put in my like a PS2 game. John loads up right away, right? I put in a PS4, PS5 game, you know, that shit is like, hey, you want to take a lunch break real quick because we're going to update your game and then you can play. Like, it's crazy.
It's because it's not really on the CD no more, right, Johnny?
No, it's not nowadays.
It's really just like, oh, here's like the case. Oh man, I miss old game cases. That's a whole that's a whole separate
straight up,
thing.
like I think even I think it was like the Call of Duty or some shit. Like it was some recent game where straight up like they don't even give you a disc with the physical copy. Like no disc, no nothing. It's just like a download code.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I get it because you can't hold that much shit on a disc. You gotta like, they have to do it, or else you like, how you gonna hold 120 gigabytes on a disc? That shit ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it just fucks everybody that has like a financial limit, and you got like the worst storage on your iPod / game console. So you got to delete all the stuff you like afterwards.
Yo, speaking of jailbreaking, though, I remember it was like I remember back in Hawaii, we had like a friend of a friend of a friend who like knew how to jailbreak shit. And I was like, yo, for you jailbreak mine for $10? Like, what are you gonna do with mine? And he's like, oh, what do you want? You want like Call of Duty backdrop? I was like, yeah, I want a Call of Duty backdrop. And then he gave it back to me, and I was like, yo, you got like the Modern Warfare 2 logo with that dude in the sandstorm, like running, like marching towards you.
Goodness.
And I swear to God, when you like unlock the phone, you hear like a bunch of fucking gunfire and shit, and it will do that every time you unlock this shit. I thought it was cool at first. I fucking hated it because you have to put your shit at the lowest volume, or else you be in like the middle of class, look on your iPhone, you hear in the middle of school. Like
that's almost as
Dog,
bad.
That has aged so horribly. That has aged so horribly.
That's almost as bad as like when you like open up your Wii, right, and you like click on the game, it'll be like Super Mario and like Super Mario Galaxy, and it just is like the highest volume possible. Even though your TV is set to like 1.
Fucking Smash Brothers Brawl will destroy your eardrums, bro. You should hear that.
Yeah, your phone really snitching on you every time. Being like, open up. He's texting in class. He's texting in class.
He's texting. Take this man's phone. No, eventually I remember. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I think my iPod reset and I lost the jailbreak, like all the jailbreak functionality.
Oh, that's crazy.
I wasted like $10 for nothing.
At least it was $10. We was charging 25.
Yeah,
and that was like way before your time.
Yeah, you got the connection, so I got a discount.
It was not a connect, bro. It was not. Jailbreaking was actually real easy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, nowadays it's fucking easy. You just need a damn computer.
Yeah, that's true. Now, you know what else is like really impressive about like early iOS games compared to like now is just like visually how they look. Like for example, like Temple Run. I don't know if you guys remember how it used to look versus like how it looks now. Like, well, I think it's literally Temple Run 2 is like what's out right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, the visuals, like, it's entirely different. It's so crazy. Like, honestly, it's so weird to, like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, old iOS games, you know it's old based off of the appearance. Like, it looks a little bit, like, more flat, like, not so vibrant. Like, a lot more 2D. Like, definitely, like, no, like, pseudo 3D. Like, none of that. Like, so it's crazy seeing, like, the evolution, like, visually, too, of, like, iOS games.
Yo, have y'all ever heard of a game called Nova? It's like near orbit Vanguard Alliance or some shit.
That game old as hell.
You remember Nova?
Bruh.
It's fucking bootleg Halo, bro. Like literally straight up. Like I remember back in 2009, I think it was either free or it cost like $1. It's probably like one of those like free, you get the light version or some shit. But I remember buying the game and I was like, dude, this game's fucking awesome. It's like getting a PS2 game in the palm of my hands. And that game looked like, but if you look at it, it looks like shit. but like eventually, like you said, with the evolution, they went for Nova 1, Nova 2, it looked pretty good. And then Nova 3, I was like, yo, holy shit, this looks like a mid PS3 game. Like this actually looks pretty good. It'll drain the fuck out of your battery, but it's pretty good.
Is that your favorite iOS?
Hell in the fuck no, bro.
What's your top?
My top favorite iOS game?
Battle Bears.
How the fuck you know I was gonna say?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know what the hell that was till I saw you playing it on your iPod. I'm like, Johnny, what is that? He said, yeah, I paid for this. I'm like, damn, he flexing on me.
I remember begging mom. It was only a $1 game. A $1 game. And I remember like getting on my knees and begging. I was like, Mama, I don't want to play the light version. I want to play the $1 version, please. Can I have it? Eventually, she caved in because she was probably annoyed as fuck.
That's crazy. That was only $1. Nowadays, it's like $5. Like it's a pretty penny to get an iOS.
Yeah, granted. And the Rude Awakening was after I got that game, I beat it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that game wasn't long at all. At all.
But no, I fucking love that game. My favorite though was the sequel, Battle Bears -1. That was fire.
That one was. Battle Bears was 2D, wasn't it?
No, it was 3D. Like, well, the first game was 3D, but you're behind like sandbags, and you're just like, it's literally just move the cursor, boom, shoot, and that's it. It was pretty fucking easy. But Battle Bears -1, that shit was like, you can move around, you had boss fights and everything, animated cutscenes. Like, that's why I love that fucking series, bro. Like, that shit had charm, and it had hold on, I think I had that shit pulled up right. It has a whole album in this shit, bro. Like the first and second game got an album. Like the first song, I'm a Battle Bear. Everybody, when you get on your downtime, listen to I'm a Battle Bear featuring Vid, and I can't read the rest of that, but featuring Vid, it's gonna change your life. It changed my life when I was 8.
I'm gonna hope you didn't just recommend a bootleg I'm a Gummy Bear song.
No, it's way better. It's way better. They got rhymes and everything.
Oh, rhymes.
Ooh, bars.
Yeah, they got rhymes. They got chill beat.
It's a cool 16.
Yeah. On the hook, they be saying, I'm a battle bear.
Hey, yo, he just got to add the little snap to it, and then he got something
He's in
going.
the wrong field, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if them people made it.
You got a favorite, Jose?
Like iPhone game or iOS
like
game?
iOS.
That's really tough. I honestly, so like right now I play Marvel Snap. That's like the only one that I really like play like semi regularly. But growing up, I'm not really sure. Honestly, probably Temple Run or Jetpack Joyride, because I like those simple games. I really do. Like I like just being able to pull it open and just play the game like whenever. I did play Dragon Veil for a while. Like that's like where like you like hatch different dragons and whatnot, and you try to get like the higher tier ones. I played that for a while, but yeah, probably Jetpack Joyride or Temple Run. I remember playing those like a ton, and like Temple Run, I remember being like, oh, I got a good score. I'm probably on the leaderboards, and then the leaderboard will be like some kid from China that had like literally 100,000 times the amount of points that I did.
It'd be like 9999999. It's like you fucking act the game, bastard.
Yeah, I'm like, I actually hate you, but it's okay.
That's why I didn't trust that. I knew people would jailbreak and cheat and all that stuff. I mean, I love Temple Run as an idea, but at least back then, I was competitive. So when I saw like everybody else had the better score, I was like, fuck this game. I just went straight to Jetpack, and I was like, oh, I could spend like 50 hours to get this money jetpack. Let's go, boy.
Yo, did y'all ever play motherfucking Infinity Blade? Like, you remember Infinity Blade?
Yeah, I love Infinity Blade.
Dude, when that shit came out, I was like, there's no way that this game looks like this when you look in the App Store. Then you play, it's like, holy shit. It's a simple game. Just fucking slash into that.
Yeah, it's an early tap and slash.
Yeah, but it was hard, and I liked that. It looked pretty good. It looked like a Dark Souls type shit.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them out.
There's 3 of them? I remember only getting to like 2, and I was like,
yeah, there's 3. And going back to what you said, sometimes the games improve. Unfortunately, Infinity Blade, I don't think they improved too much as time went on. But like, I wonder because nowadays you see so many iOS games that like look like bootleg mainstream games, you know what I mean? And I wonder if it's just the availability of like 3D models or like 2D like joints that's available and just replicating that, because nowadays, I don't know about y'all, but I'll be like scrolling through general stuff and I'll get random game ads, and it's like the same weird bullshit where it's like people progressing at crazy rates. It's like a fake game, low key.
The Unity game engine is literally a click away. It's free. Anybody can do it. And unfortunately, when you make something free, you get a bunch of bullshit that comes down the pipeline. Like, that's why you get all them booty ass fucking mobile games. And it's, especially with Unity, you can just download some assets and make fucking Modern Combat 8. Like, no one will fucking look you any other way.
Dog, I feel like there's a lot of overrated iOS games though.
Like,
bruh, like that one God game that we listed on here.
Oh, you talking about Pocket God?
Yeah, bro. Like, I paid some money for Pocket God. I was like, yeah, this is fire, bro. What can I do? Oh, you could like throw them in a volcano and like do like this one cool thing, and it's like, all right, so what's after that though? Nothing. Like, yeah. How long am I going to torture this pygmy person? Also, is the game racist? Like,
come on.
I think, yeah, like, what,
bro,
like
their
cultural...
lips is crazy.
They ain't that crazy.
Bro, they got a bone in their hair, and they got like the old school like black depiction lips. Like,
I remember them lips being like big, like fucking Sambo type shit.
Bro,
like, it wasn't Sambo.
Bro, it's bad.
It ain't that bad. All I remember was them having like, it just look like tribal people. Like, you got the bone in their nose and shit. You could throw them in the volcano. You could throw them into space. Actually, was that the iPad version? I don't remember. It was one of them things where you could like throw them into space and shit.
So tribal people look like that?
Yeah. According to Pocket God, they do.
You better hope no tribal person got their little Wi-Fi set up and listening to this.
Not their Wi-Fi set up.
We leave the studio. There's just a spear through Johnny's chest.
You're going to have an Aboriginal from Australia come in. What the fuck?
you love this game?
John, you're actually a monster. But, so I guess, hold up, to kind of backtrack real quick, for those of you that don't know what Pocket God is basically what Amir just said. You're literally like the god of like a civilization, right? And like there's these little like indigenous people called the pygmies, and you can literally do whatever the hell you want to these people. Like Johnny said, you can literally flick them up the screen and they'll go into a volcano and just done. You can, I think, like literally throw like meteors on them, like natural disasters. Like you're literally just their god and can ruin and make their lives as awful as you want.
Exactly, like actual God.
It's like 2 steps behind the Kill Your Boss games and all that, where you're just low-key just fucking something up, like, over and over again. You know how many games there were before where it was, like, Ragdoll or, like, something like that, where you're just fucking up some model up?
It was like fucking like, it was like Torture Game 1, where you get to shoot a guy that's hanging.
Oh, my goodness.
Bro. People were unhinged.
So
people were very unhinged.
Quick question for you guys. Now, I know we all definitely played Flash games growing up, or like maxgames.com, Newgrounds, and all that. How do you feel, like, have you guys ever played any of those games, like, on iOS now? Or have previously? Like, for example, like, on Max Games, I remember one of the biggest ones was, like, Age of War. Did you ever play that on, like, iOS? Like, on your iPad or iPhone?
There was an old stick. You remember Stick Page?
Yeah, Stick Page is a classic.
Yeah, I remember there was like that Stick Wars thing, and that they came out for the iOS. Whoa.
I actually had that download for the longest because like it's such a simple but like great game.
Game is heat for like intro strategy people. You know what I mean?
There was a bunch of like Stickman games. I remember there was one. Oh, I forget. It was like Stick Hero. They had a whole series and shit. But it started as like a like one of those, you got to pay money for units and then send units on the battlefield and then fight the opposing units. Then on the other, then I think in like the sequel, you're like actually controlling one of the characters and you're like, it was one of those like RTS type.
Oh,
not RTS,
I think that's the one that Amir was talking about.
No, it wasn't even like Stick War. It was like a completely different.
Entirely different.
It was entirely different. But there was like whole Stickman type games, like Stickman Assassin. I remember I fucking played that shit all the time.
Y'all remember Fancy Pants Adventure?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That's
Fancy
the dude.
Pants
That's the dude with like the Super Saiyan haircut, like basically the cool anime kid
with the
haircut,
yellow pants,
right? With whatever color pants you want him to be. You were just like, oh, I can make it orange now. Oh my gosh, now it's blue. Yeah, such a simple game, like, but we were so enthralled by it.
Bruh, the old catapult, like the old Flash catapult games.
Yeah, Crush the Castle. I was literally about to say that.
Crush the
Crush the
Castle was
Castle.
heat, and Angry Birds, I feel like, took that like and ran with it, like
So
all
we need
the way
to,
through.
yeah, we need to talk about Angry Birds, right? So like, what is your guys' experience with Angry Birds? Like, have you guys like rode with the series like up to today? Did you ride with it up to a certain point, or have you like never touched Angry Birds? I know we all know or what Angry Birds is. But like, what's your experience with the franchise?
Man, I fucked with Angry Birds heavy. When the first game came out, dude, I was addicted. Like, trying to get the 3 stars on every single level was hard, but it was fun. Like, it was like one of them physics types games that, especially on the iOS, you don't really see that many like it until it came out. Then, you get carbon copies. But I remember getting Angry Birds. There was Angry Birds Seasons. And then there was like that. Remember they did a Rio crossover with that damn bird? Like that blue bird? They did like a whole Rio game.
Hold up. What's with you like hating indigenous peoples and like indigenous animals, bro?
What do you mean? Hating on indigenous animals? That blue bird pretty.
You see what representation does?
He said the freaking bluebird. He said that darn
This
bird.
man is so disrespectful towards nature.
Came in, ruined Angry Birds.
Well, deer ruined my vehicle, so fuck nature.
I'm sorry, what? Feel free to elaborate.
I said deer ruined my vehicle. First deer.
Oh, I thought you were saying a bluebird ruined your vehicle. I was like, how big is this bluebird?
Dog, can you imagine? How'd you fuck up your car? A bird hit at me and I flipped. I got scared.
It went under the tire and the tire fell out.
That's why I needed you to elaborate, because I'm like, yo, a bluebird? I'm like, yo, those Johns are like this big. I'm like 3 inches. And you're telling me it destroyed your car. I'm like, it must have just like collided in your engine and just exploded. I was like, that's the only way that makes sense.
I could see him taking out an airplane, a flock of them, but like
Yeah, he said a single bluebird came in and devastated
strong
my
ass
life.
bluebird.
Now Johnny has a vengeance. That's his life mission.
Bruh, I thought Angry Birds was cool, especially when it first came out. And then I dropped it like a hot potato after a hot second because there were so many other iOS games that came out, like Infinity Blade and all these other things that came out. I was like, my attention span was just shit. And I think I re-downloaded a recent one, like for my iPhone and everything. Dog, I don't know what the hell happened to Angry Birds.
Nah, you don't know?
Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I guess it's still the same, but like, again, it went into the same, okay, well, you got to pay this. And then even when you pay this, there's like limitations. Like before, I feel like you would just get the full game, like without restrictions and everything like that. Now it's like, okay, you bought this, I'm going to give you like 70%. And then this 30% if you want to do more than here's this little expansion that you can do, or like buy some gems on the side and, you can get this bird back or da-da-da. It's all money. It's all money. Like, it's so greedy. like before it was like, oh, upgrade $1. Bro, can you imagine if your kid goes nuts in the App Store one day?
It's
all
happening.
them stories of people just, my kid just wiped out 35 grand because he just had my App Store. Bro, my kid ain't getting no App Store access or nothing. Like, all them parental controls gonna be on lock.
I'm giving my kids the exact same thing I had, which is the leapfrog. I'm giving them
the leapfrog book, tap it with the pen.
I'm giving them that same exact
the
thing.
bee went here.
You could at least give them like a Game Boy Advance or something. No, you gonna give them a leapfrog. You hate you kids.
No, I don't hate them. I'm just making them build character. They gonna appreciate their blessings in the future.
Bro, do you think like iOS games kind of like kicked like handheld consoles to the curb?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Game Boy, fire. Like we are biased towards Game Boys, right? But you have more games on the iPod and accessibility and all that stuff, and it was touchscreen. Like it's a free DS for real. Meanwhile, you got the handhelds, like you got like the PS Vita, like that thing went to the the well
that-
as
that-
soon as
that died
iOS
instantly,
games
yeah.
came
Rest in
through.
peace, Vita.
And like Game Boys too, like DS is like I don't see kids running around with DSs, Game Boys, and all
Well,
that.
keep in mind. Remember, early on, no, because like they had the DS, everything was rocking. You had Angry Birds, you had like Nova, and maybe like a couple other games. Early on, it wasn't really popping because games were way too simple. They were like way too simple compared to like something you get on the DS. Like I could play Mario on my fucking DS. I could play Zelda on my DS, like on my 3DS especially. But especially as time goes on, everyone has a phone now. Everyone's gonna get access to that app store. And then they're going to be like, oh, a bunch of free games. Cool. What am I going to need a DS for? Or like, what am I going to need a Vita? What am I gonna
But
need all that
why
shit
did
for?
it de-evolve? Like we started so strong, Tap Tap Revenge, Cut the Rope, Angry Birds, all these bangers, even Temple Run and all that Jetpack Joyride. And then the games are comparable to the games of now. But for the Game Boy, you had like Metroid Fusion. How big, storage-wise, is Metroid Fusion? How hard is it to put something like Metroid Fusion on the iOS and all that stuff, or things of that same caliber? You would fuck up the game. Like, people will go crazy on terms of like phone hours and all that stuff. So if you're really thinking of like the marketing aspect things, where you're like, okay, well, I need more ads, I need you to interact more with the phone and all that stuff. If you don't evolve these games into not lottery shit or gambling shit, like it's just.
Well, here's the thing. How many recent mobile games have you played?
We're adults.
Bro.
I don't think
Exactly.
you understand. I don't
Here's
think
the-
you understand.
I don't have a single game on my phone.
And,
I ain't gonna
here's
lie.
the thing. That's why you think it devolved. Because it's not really devolved. Honestly, I think it evolved. Like, completely. Like, the mobile game market now, yes, there's going to be them fair shares of, like, gambling bullshit. Like, oh, play the lottery and hope... Or, yeah, you can play 5 times and then now you got to spend some money to get some energy back. But most of the time... I shouldn't say most of the time. Half of the time, because there's a lot of shovelware, you're going to get some good quality. Like, there's one game I played that like it felt like Diablo, like straight up, it felt like Diablo. Like you're gonna get most of the time you're not gonna get the official type of game. Like you're not gonna get official Diablo. You're not gonna get like good RTS like you're gonna probably get on PC. Are you gonna get something comparable though? Yeah, because especially now I dog on the Modern Combat series, but it's bootleg Call of Duty, and then most of the people, especially kids who don't got access to like a PS4, they're gonna love bootleg Call of Duty. It's good.
That's
it's good
facts.
enough.
That's facts.
So I think one of the biggest differences between handheld games and like iOS games, I mean that this wasn't like right off the bat, like it evolved, is the multiplayer functionality. I mean both genres or both items like it evolved, right? But like with iPhone games, I think it's a lot easier to do multiplayer because I mean we remember the days where you had a daisy chain,
Oh my god,
everything together just to
it
even
still
be able to
wouldn't work with the cords.
Yeah,
and everything.
so you just hope that like your port was clean and that your cord was just like not bootleg, So, but yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest like changes is that I'm not sure which one adapted sooner, but like I know at least multiplayer, it's a lot more common with iOS games than it is with like if you had a handheld game. Well, nowadays like with the Switch, it's very different. It's very competitive and like interchangeable. I would say like in terms of that like medium. But yeah, that was I know that was a huge difference. Just like being able to play with like another friend, super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Johnny, quick question, like with Angry Birds, I know you had mentioned earlier with like they had like different seasons and different launches. Did those like different launches like would those actually work to bring you back into the series of Angry Birds?
Oh,
like
no.
did it? No, absolutely not.
Like no, they've ever since the damn seasons in the Rio, they've expanded to like fucking Star Wars, new Angry Birds, or like Angry Birds 2. I forget what they're doing now, but I remember they had like some controversy or some shit about like getting the old classic game, but then they pulled it because they wanted to pull more to microtransactions, which I mean every company's doing that because money is cool, but. Nowadays, no, I'll probably give it to my child, but that's it.
Bro, y'all remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah.
was huge. And you know what's actually crazy? So I still have my iPod 4. It's literally like just like in a basket, like just sitting like somewhere, right? But it has Flappy Bird on it. And
Yeah,
that's a
believe
big,
that shit.
yeah, that's kind of like a big deal because like
Mhm.
that's like low key like a relic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's pretty
because I
crazy.
mean, didn't they take it down because of the whole like mine, not yours? No, it's mine. Like there was that
Yeah.
whole back and forth, and then they just released different versions. It's just a bird would be changed
Oh, no,
into
oh, no,
different
you remember-
characters.
You remember the story? What happened to the dude?
No,
Nah, hit us with it.
Dude was straight up making like, I think I'm from Reddit correctly. Dude was making like 10,000 a day
Goddamn.
from that game. But he said, this game literally ruined my life, and he took it off. Because he was getting so much popularity that it ended up being like, yo, I can't even handle this. And I think dude was like in a overseas, like Asian country. So he was getting guap. Like, he's getting 10,000 American dollars? That man's getting guap. And apparently it ruined his life. Like, he didn't want that. So
bro, that's why you need to delegate, for real. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's amazing, and I think it's harder nowadays to like pop off the way like people used to pop off. Like, you can't just put out like a B, C product and then it just pop off. Like Flappy Bird is the simplest shit ever. Simplest shit ever. And he got that much stuff. Bro, if you don't expand, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much, like, he got people on staff. He probably just made it himself, but delegate. I don't know the dude's name. And I'm like a big nerd, so like,
I guess the depression was too much for him. But man, the gold mine, like the gold mine for iOS games, it's like the gold mine of like YouTube. If you didn't start early, you're not gonna get much guap unless you're putting in the effort. Like, you have to put in some good effort in order. I remember one time I wanted to make my own game. Then I learned that making games kind of suck.
And you got deadlines to make.
Yeah, I got school.
So, just like a final thought. We have kind of talked about how at like Dave and Buster's, like you'll see like arcade cabinets of these older school iOS games. What's an iOS game that you think would like translate really well to like an arcade cabinet in a Dave and Buster's or some a current day arcade?
All right, so Dave and Buster's, listen to me, or anybody who's a game developer. Here's how you can make Battle Bears relevant again.
This man.
So you have Oliver behind the sandbags, and he's pulling up with the rifle. You just start with like one or two like enemies, huggables coming your way, and then you just ramp it up to the point where it's impossible and no one's ever gonna beat it. And then you give him like 4 tickets.
Were they really called huggables?
Yeah,
bro. It's like Care Bears on like acid.
Yo, I could just see an add-on with the Teletubbies coming in there and being like.
Didn't their heads come off and like a rainbow came out or something like that? Like the game was fucked. Like
that's crazy.
I love that game, bro. Like, man's will take like a whole fucking. He would take like a whole unicorn, like a dead unicorn, take off their horn and use it as like a crossbow and shit. Like, bro, I love that game. Like all them cutscenes, like, look, if you ever curious, look up them cutscenes. Like, that's why I say it's the best iOS game, at least my favorite, because at least that game has some charm. Like, it had like full characters and everything. It's one of the better games.
Okay, that's fair. Dave and Buster's, please don't do this, but that's a good idea, Johnny.
If you ever do it, pay me.
Yeah, that's it. How about you, Amir?
Honestly, I'm not a huge advocate for like translating it over. You know what I mean? I prefer arcade to be arcade and iOS to be iOS. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the iOS is so simplified. I don't want arcades going into the same shit where I could get it on my phone, because what's the point of going to the location at that point? You know what I mean? What's the point of hanging out and all that? But I'm a sucker for like shooting games, and like especially like zombie classic shooting games and all that. So like the top down, like the zombie hordes coming at you, I could see that easily being like a arcade game. You really don't have to put crazy controls into it. Based on the waves, you make it based on how many tickets you got. That way it's actually interactive, because I hate when like you get a shooting game and it's like no matter how far, like I could beat Time Crisis and it's still gonna be 4 tickets.
Yeah, that's fair, bro.
Boy, if you're lucky to even
if you don't stop
tickets.
jipping me, bro, I'm putting in work behind these triggers. My finger game crazy, ladies.
I bet. No, so not necessarily. I mean, I think this ended up being on iOS, but this is another like one of those like flash games that I think would be like just fun to just see in like a arcade cabinet style is Bloons Tower Defense. I used to love those like Bloons games. I love them. So I think that would be a pretty fun one to like see as like an arcade cabinet. Not entirely sure how it would work.
I can see how they could do it. They could do like a randomly generated, like this is because, you know, AI is great. Randomly generate like a whole path and shit. And then if you make it far enough, you're good. And then it'll keep ramping up, and you're probably not going to win. You're probably never going to get to the end. Because you know how
Johnny is
roll.
all about seeing people fail in arcades.
Because that's their model. That's the entire gambling model.
Marketing.
This man walks up to a random person, skee ball. Hey, just let you know you're trash and you'll never hit the 100.
I'm telling you right now, that shit's rigged. Good luck. Don't even try it. Just go home. Go home right now. Actually, no, stay here. We need your money.
So, Amir, John, do one of you guys want to read our most recent review that we had?
Don't worry. I got y'all, because thanks to this infamous IA, I don't know why you call yourself that, but I still love you.
It's probably like one of those like auto-generated names.
Dog, if we get cooked here, I'm gonna cry.
All right, here we go. So they give us 1 star. I'm playing, not 5.
I was about to say, Jesus.
I don't think we've ever got a 1-star review yet. But great show. They cover everything. I had forgotten so much I loved about the stuff they talk about. Need more episodes.
Oh, well, we're here to bring you more episodes.
Yeah.
Hope that, you keep on listening.
Yeah.
And enjoying.
Yeah, come on, Infamous. You love us? We love you. We love you so much, we're going to give you like at least 800 episodes.
Oh, you're disgusting.
Huh?
800.
Huh?
What do we call our fans? Do we call them nostalgia nerds? Is it okay to call people nerds?
We're going to have to
To
talk
their
about
face?
this.
The Remembers.
I'm sorry.
Ew!
Okay. We're just like the most off-brand Avengers. That's disgusting.
Oh, nah.
The Remembers. Everybody just show an R on their chest.
I'm a Remember.
The Remembers.
The back in my days.
We're gonna do a collab with Batman and the Remember versus Batman.
we're gonna become an army.
Hey, yo, but seriously, leave feedback. We appreciate that. But also let us know like what you'd like to see as well. A lot of the ideas is off the cuff, and Jose is like a great mind. But if we're missing out something, that you'd like to have our flavor on, just let us know and we'll do it.
Yeah, you can follow us on at Instagram, right? At Remember When Podcast. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And shoot us a DM. Reach out to us. We'll gladly, talk to you, and we'll hopefully fill out your requests. But yeah, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I think you can leave them on Spotify, maybe wherever you can leave a review. Just hit us with a review. We'll read it on there.
Hit us up on the socials if like you can't leave a review on the Spotify and all that.
Yeah, if you want to give us love, you want to call us dickheads, we accept all the love.
We embrace it all.
We embrace it all.
I will respond to negative comments.
I mean, don't respond to negative comments.
I will respond to negative comments.
He actually will. He will be the one to read it out loud.
I have all day. I got time.
Anything less than 5 stars, you know Amir going to be reading out loud.
It's spring break. Don't comment this week.
The moment you respond and then someone drops an IP, it's game over, bro.
Bro, drop the Addy right now. I've been said that about that booty ass Burger King take. See me.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and have yourself a great night.